What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Old Volks TV. Today's the day. I say that a lot because it's always the day. We always got something going on out here. We got cars, we got buses, we got bugs, we got motors, we got all kinds of stuff we're always working on. But today's the day for the brown car and for that motor. Well, maybe not today's the day, but this weekend is the weekend. We'll call it that. We're going to stuff this motor into that car. But first we got to pull that motor out and we got to tune it because that motor is sold to somebody. Bobby sold it to another guy. So we got to get that 1915 out. We got to get it on top of one of these little carts. We got to put the starter jammy on there and get it going. Get it all tuned perfect so that it runs, nice. Right now it doesn't run that great because it's hard to tune because you can't reach the adjusters because it's got regular manifolds and no Weber windows. So we're going to put it on a stand. We're going to burn it in, tune it up, get it nice and sweet. Then we're going to pull that exhaust off. We got to put it on this motor. Then we got to plug in all the wires. There's a million freaking wires on this motor because everything's got a wire on it. We're going to get that all hooked up to the ECU and the relay board and all that junk. Get this thing tuned up. Get it started. Get it, just get it running because all we're going to be able to do on the base tune is get it running. Then take it all apart, slam it in that car, put it all back together. Try to find somewhere to stick all those wires and hide them and make it clean. Make it look like a really nice car like it is. Then start it again. Have Mario do some remote tuning via laptop and internet satellite connection. He's up in Washington, but he can tune it, and we're in Texas and he's in Washington. So we'll get that tune going and we'll let him play with the spark map and the fuel table and all the good stuff and get the thing running nice so that we can drive it around. Then Bobby will come get it. And then Bobby can, deal with getting a performance tune on it. So tonight, it's Friday night. So we're working on get this thing taken apart and taken out and get on a bench and put it all back together again so that we can run it tomorrow and get it tuned up. That's going to be the goal for this weekend. Get that one tuned, get that one running. That's all we got to do. It's super easy. So come on, let's go. Alright, it's the next day. I had camera problems last night. I was out here till about, 1 o'clock in the morning trying to get the motor out, but we got it. Super easy with that lift. Holy moly. I don't even know how we did it without those all these years. But we got it over here on the floor. I got to get everything that we took off to get it out. We did that so that we didn't scratch anything and kind of make it have a little more room to come out without worrying about scratching the nice paint on the car or scratching the sort of nice paint on that motor. So we're going to get that thing up on what is now the empty cart because my motor is down on the floor. That thing's ready to go in. So we'll get this thing up on the thing today. We will get everything back on it, get it tuned, you know, tune the carbs, tune the timing, get the valves done, everything nice, because the guy who bought it, I think, is wanting it to just go in. So we'll do all that stuff. We got, come look at this. Oh man, it's a strong magnet. We got all this wiring. I don't know. There we go. I don't know what most of that is. We've got, you know, our coil wires, which I labeled because they're the wrong color. We've got a wire that goes to the starter, and we've got 2 batteries. So we've got this one. This is the oil sensor. Somewhere in here we've got another one of these that's wrapped up. Oh, it's right here for a battery. But then we got this, I don't know what the heck this is. Probably factory wiring that they didn't use, and then they just bundled it up in this huge bundle right here. This is not going to look good with that motor the way that it is. So either we're going to have to make some panels to kind of cover that up, or I've got to find a way to hide all that, even the taillight, you know, wiring. I kind of want to get that out of here too. I want this to be super clean. So we're going to have to, I don't know, sort that out. And then the oil lines are the wrong size. We got these nice big beefy number 10 AN10 lines. And I think what's on there is like an AN6. So that's going to have to get worked on too. Lots of work. Oh, you're looking at the light. Lots of work still to go today, but we're going to keep going. Come on. All right, we got it out of the car. We got it on the bench. Tony came by and helped us out. Super cool having, you know, a Volkswagen guy down the street, because we always go help each other. It's really awesome because whenever I need motors lifted, which seems to be a lot lately, I can call Tony. So we got this thing up here. I had to change the spark plug wires because the ones that were on it were just junk. They were all crispy. They fell apart. They wouldn't work. So we put some new set on there. That's looking good. Got everything put back together. Everything's nice and tight. All the nuts and bolts are tight. So now we're going to get it tuned, because you couldn't get to any of the hardware to tune it in the car. And even if you could, everything's been painted over, so you can't turn any of it without a tool. So we got a screwdriver. We got all our stuff here. We're going to preset the carbs to a baseline. Going to try to static the timing back to where it was, because the motor did run. It ran okay. Just needed to be adjusted. We're going to run the valves real quick. We'll fire it up. We'll get it warm. We'll tune it. Then we'll let it cool off. Then we got to rip this exhaust off, and we got to stab it on that new motor to get that thing running, to get that thing in the car. So progress, you know. So let's do the valves real quick. I know everybody knows how to do the valves. They have their own way to do the valves. I'm going to do them the way I learned when I was a kid, with a flathead and a 13 millimeter and some feeler gauges. Put that down there to catch any oil. I've already got it set to number 1, top dead center. And I did verify that by rocking it back and forth to make sure that these, you know, are where they need to be. These are actually pretty good. That one's a little tight. I'm going to let that one go though. So we're going to turn it backwards so we can get number 2. Because number 2 is over here. Oh. Just loosening my... It's okay. This one. Oh, that compression is... That's a good compression. Alright, so now we're at number 2. And that's these right here. Tight. We're using a 6/1000. think these are all set to like 4, which is a little too tight. So you break that one loose. We slide our feeler gauge just enough to hold it. And then we tighten that. Now we got good. It's just sliding through on both sides. That's what you want. This one's tight. You gotta do this dead cold. Like you can't run the motor at all. Because if they get a little bit of heat on them, then they expand and you're not getting a good reading. But just till we capture it, tighten it. You got to make sure too that this doesn't turn when you lock that. That's why you got to hold the screwdriver in there. Otherwise, it'll get tight on you. And there we go. Good. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna do the other side real quick. Fast time so you don't have to sit through it again. Then we will get the carbs baselined, and then we're ready to fire it up. Let's go. All right, now we're gonna set these carbs to baseline. First thing we're gonna do is the air screws, which are these here with the little springs on them. This is your adjustment for your mixture, and you want to go all the way until it stops, just till it gets snug. You don't want to crank them in there tight, just till it's, you know, it kind of stops, and you're gonna come out 2.5 turns. Okay, there's 2.5. I'm going to set them all the same. That way, once it starts running, then we can tweak them all and get them, you know, get them all even. The other thing we want to do is this one right here, which is your idle screw. This linkage is kind of bent and goofy and weird, but it's okay. I've already adjusted the arms on this, so I know that the butterflies are all the way closed. And then I mean, it's going to be really hard to see, but if you're looking at it, the stopper should hit the idle screw. As soon as it touches, then you're going to go 1.5. 1.5 turns. And I already did the other side, so we got them nice and even. That's how you set your carbs to baseline. Really, we should take these off and tune the carbs with the linkage off, but I know that the linkage is set up correctly, so I'm going to skip that step because every linkage is different. You might have the crisscross linkage or the hex bar linkage or Berg linkage or whatever, so figure out how to adjust your linkage, but I know this one's good, so we're going to just go with it like that. With that, you know, the timing, I took a little pen and marked the distributor where it was before I pulled it out so that we could put it back together where it was. I don't know what that timing is, but I know that the car ran and they drove it, so we don't really have to mess with the timing. We will, once we get it going and get the carbs tuned and everything, we'll make sure the timing is where it needs to be. But I'm not going to mess with it just yet. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to hook up the old starter apparatus back here, put it in some fuel, and we'll fire it up, see what we can get. All right, let's plug in all the connections here. Got our starter, got our coil, got our fuel pump going, and let's see what she does. smoke and we got some oil spillage. The oil loop line wasn't exactly all the way tight, and we had a little bit of a leak, but that's okay. It'll burn off, it'll be just fine. So we're gonna let it warm up, and then we'll get the carbs like tuned and get the timing set, and it's all done. Then we gotta let it cool all the way back down so we can get that exhaust off. So here we go. Alright, well there we go. It is running, it's tuned, starts right up, goes smooth, it's still a little oily. Just because, like I said, we got a little oil on the fiberglass of the tube and it's soaked in, so it's gonna have to burn off. It'll happen eventually. We gotta get this exhaust off of this motor and get it on that other motor. But I ain't touching it for like 4 hours because it stays hot. This stainless steel, man, I can feel the heat. It's hot. It's only been running for a few minutes. It's already hot. So we're gonna end it today with that. We got it out, we got it tuned up, we got it put back together, you know, we're good there. This motor's getting sold to somebody to make up the money to pay for getting the other motor put together and in and all that stuff. So, you know, it's good enough for somebody. They're gonna have to take everything apart and clean it and, you know, do it anyways. But at least we know it's a good running motor. We'll send them a video of it running, you know, on the stand. So good stuff. And that's gonna do it for this week. So you know what to do. Hit the links, check out all the friends, hit that Amazon store, get your springtime camping stuff, get all your tools and stuff, you know, that you need for the shop, all the stuff that we use. It's all in that Amazon. Like, it's like the first thing right there in the description. So get yourself hooked up with that. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us some comments. I love reading the comments. I answer all the comments. Me or Sean, you know, one of us will get in there and answer those for you guys. So, you know, we love it. We love hearing from you. So leave us a comment. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.